You've taken 7 people, each of whom has a real-life reason to wish you harm, gathered them together on a remote island, and placed the idea of your murder in their heads.
In 2019, Rian Johnson released a long-awaited murder mystery he wrote and directed called Knives Out. Rian had the idea after finishing his debut film Brick in 2005, which we previously covered. It kept getting pushed back as Rian took on other projects like Looper and The Last Jedi. It starred Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc, the world's greatest detective, who is called in to investigate the murder of a murder mystery novelist named Harlan Thrombey.
I read a tweet about a New Yorker article about you. The last of the gentleman sleuths? You solved that case with the tennis champ? You're famous.
Each of Harlan's family members had a reason to want to kill him, and his whole family was there the night of his death, all celebrating his 85th birthday.
My presence will be ornamental. You will find me a respectful, quiet, passive observer.
During the COVID pandemic, Rian Johnson decided to write another standalone film for when he could travel again. Much like Agatha Christie's famous Hercule Poirot, Rian decided to include Benoit Blanc, but put him into a different standalone story. In November 2022, after premiering it at TIFF, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, was released on Netflix. Rian, being a smart writer, set the story in Greece so he could go travel there on the film's dime. Edward Norton stars as Miles Braun, a billionaire tech CEO of the company Alpha, who's as ruthless as he is prone to use nonsense tech jargon.
This entire day,
The Predefinite Detective.
a veritable minefield of malapropisms
The Infraction Point.
and factual errors.
Miles Braun is a parody of, well, definitely idiot who has fooled us all, Elon Musk,
Look into the clear center of this glass onion. Miles Braun is an idiot.
but also that disruptor Silicon Valley aesthetic.
Because as it turns out, nobody wants you to break the system itself. But that is what true disruption is.
In fact, the Disruptors is what he calls his friend group, which includes Catherine Hahn as Liberal Governor Claire DeBella, Kate Hudson as fashion designer Birdie J, a Twitch streamer and men's rights activist named Duke, played by Dave Bautista,
And the answer is no, Jimmy Kimmel. I do not hate boobs.
and Leslie Odom Jr. as Lionel, the head scientist at Alpha. They all get invited to Greece for a pandemic vacation that doubles as a murder mystery game thrown by Miles Braun. Also invited is Miles Braun's original partner, Andy, played by Janelle Monáe, who Miles Braun iced out of Alpha a couple years before. Everyone in Miles' friend group has benefited from his billions, and they're all ruthless in their own right. They also, it turns out, all have a reason to want to hurt Miles, as he is holding something over each of their heads. And he is about to release Clear, an unstable hydrogen fuel that might bring them all down.
That's a new solid hydrogen fuel. It's incredibly powerful. It's radically efficient. 0 carbon emissions, and it's derived from abundant seawater. I call it Clear with a K.
Benoit Blanc shows up after getting an invitation, which it turns out wasn't sent by Miles. At least that's the story he tells on his unexpected arrival. Halfway through the story, after Benoit Blanc stops Miles' game, it becomes clear that isn't actually how Benoit Blanc got an invitation. Andy's sister Helen came to him for help after Andy was found dead in her garage and enlisted him to help solve the mystery. It turns out Andy was planning on going public with the information that she came up with the idea for Alpha on a napkin, bringing down Miles Braun.
The whole case was based on intellectual ownership of the company's founding idea.
Each character has the motive and had the opportunity to have Andy killed, as they each went to confront her. Helen and Benoit Blanc must figure out who did it.
I'm proposing that you come with me to that island as your sister, as Cassandra Brand.
What?